A new season of the Stevenage Sheet Metal Super 1 Rotax Max Series, along with the ever-popular Honda Cadet class for drivers from 8 years of age, gets underway at one of the most popular karting circuits in the UK, here at the Lakeland Stadium at Rowrah in Cumbria. 30% of the total field are rookies new to the Super 1 British Championship, and every driver in this series is about to experience a first for karting in the UK. Standing starts for karts with centrifugal clutches. This is the Super 1 British Karting Championship. Early karts were fitted with direct drive engines requiring a push start traditionally, but in recent years we've seen the development of push button starters on engines with centrifugal clutches. Now, despite this, the sport has continued with rolling starts. This weekend, however, due to the nature of this circuit and not least the chicane you see behind me, just 50 or 60 metres or so beyond the start line, and traditionally sees a lot of accidents at the start, the organiser of Super 1 this weekend, John Hoyle, has decided to go with something slightly different. John, we're trying standing starts at Super 1 for the first time in karting for engines with centrifugal clutches, both the Honda and the Rotax engines. Now, we had a few teething problems with the Rotax classes yesterday, but first of all, just tell us why you're trying this in the first place.
I think people are unhappy with the amount of incidences from starts. This track might lend itself a little bit more for that, but over the last few years, you know, with the starts been so close and everyone bunched together, it does create accidents, which then creates a bill for the customer with the damage on the kart. So we've decided to do standing starts to see if that would make an improvement, which we did in the practice, and it seemed to work well. But in doing that, created another problem with people over-revving the engines, that they're not supposed to be done like that. But it did give an advantage on the start, but also burnt the clutches out, so that did cause a little problem.
But you've solved that by, you've tweaked it slightly now, so they come, instead of just coming and letting the engines run, they come to the grid, they get gridded up, they're turning the engines off, and then they're starting the engines and pretty much they start and go straight away. So you've sort of got around that issue now, haven't you?
I mean, you think 5 seconds isn't a long time, but when you stood on that grid with the engine at 10,000 revs, it's a lifetime. So all the engines cut off, it's start engines, red light, green, go. Within 2 seconds, they haven't got time to rev the engine, and there's no engine wear, the engine's working perfectly, and most of the people are happy.
Yeah, and from your point of view, you're the organiser, you're trying to keep everybody happy. You're not making decisions to make the situation worse. You're trying to make decisions to make the situation better for everyone. But what you did do, you listened to the complaints that clutches were being destroyed because they were over-revving them. You gave people an option, didn't you? And just explain what happened. Everybody had the chance to vote, with the juniors and the seniors.
Yeah, we want the right thing for the customer, but you can go around, talk to people and think you've got the right idea. So what we decided to do is have a meeting with the drivers and see what they wanted. The Mini Max and Junior Max was unanimous to go for it, where the Senior Max was the other way. So we ran the heats yesterday with the Mini Max and Junior, worked absolutely perfectly. The Seniors was the other way, the old way, and it proved a point. The first race, John Stewart could have been this weekend's winner, and unfortunately he got knocked off at the start and a massive pile-up.
Yeah, and John and his dad, I know, were ones that came to you and were unhappy about it initially, but unfortunately for John, he ended up under somebody else's kart and was off in that race, and as you say, could have been a winner that time. But looking forward to this weekend, it looks like overall it's worked pretty well so far.
Yeah, it's better than we've expected, really, and a lot of people being critical, but when you've got one of the sort of most respected and experienced mechanics in the pits that doesn't usually compliment, he came up, shook my hand, Mark Rose, and he said, well done, and it does work, and the customer's happy, not as many crashes, and working really well. So we'll see how the seniors goes today.
We traditionally look out for the ones to watch in each class at the beginning of the season, and why break with tradition? In Honda Cadet, any one of a dozen or so drivers could contest for the top 3 spots, but as always I have to make a choice. Cian Dewis was last year's champion and returns to make his own little bit of history, attempting to repeat what Oliver Rowland did in 2003 and 4, the only young man ever to win back-to-back cadet titles. Rowland did it in the Coma Cadet class that is no longer with us, but the Honda Cadet class these days is just as competitive. Look out for Miles Apps, who won the one-weekend British Open title at the end of last year as a dad and lad team, but he is now part of the all-conquering Fusion Motorsport outfit and will provide Dewis with his stiffest challenge. Matthew Hopcroft is the 4-plate and should go close, as should Mark Kimber driving the 5 kart. He'll also be in the mix. But look out for the midfield grinder from last year, Alex Lloyd, who's been in good form throughout the winter, putting some of the top seeds under pressure in the winter club meetings. Lloyd is definitely one to watch, and if he doesn't get at least a podium this year, he will not be happy. In Minimax, the top 9 seeds from 2013 have moved on, leaving Luke Wooder, the Honda Cadet champion from a few seasons ago, the top seed, racing number 10. Add to this the fact that he won the British Open title at this circuit just last weekend, and Wooder has firmly established himself as a favourite to take the Minimax crown this year, supported by the excellent Dan Holland racing team. Who will provide the challenge? Well, any one of 10 could, but I'm going with the following. The very likeable Scotsman Dean MacDonald is my tip to take the title after moving to Strawberry Racing this season. He is always a front runner, and this year will be no different. But where's the however? Here's one. It's Alex Quinn, the nearly managed Super 1 last season, finishing vice-champion in both the Coma and IAMI Super 1 Cadet classes, winning the O-Plate as a consolation. He's been going well in the winter months though, and he is definitely going to challenge for the title in Minimax this year. Oliver York joins Quinn in the Coles racing team, and the IAMI and Coma Cadet Super 1 champion from last year, the only man ever to win 2 cadet titles in one season, will be hungry for more success. Oliver York doesn't like doing second, but my tip is MacDonald. I expect him to take the Super 1 title this year in Minimax. Did I mention Luke Wooder? Well, here's Luke's brother Dave. He's in the junior Rotax class, and on the same weekend Luke won in Minimax, Dave won the British Open title in junior Rotax, and I think he is the one to beat this year. Who are the challengers? Well, one man that will push him all the way, maybe Connor Hall, the Minimax champion from 2013, is looking for back-to-back Super 1 titles. But this class is one of the most competitive in 2014. Look out for the 23 kart of Tom Gamble. I expect Tom to be playing at the pointy end this year with a real chance of winning. And the 32 kart of Hugo Bentley Ellis. But in truth, more will be known about the potential frontrunners in this category after the first round has been completed. And I'm expecting other names to put themselves firmly in my thoughts after round 1 is over. In Rotax Max for drivers from 16 years of age and over, a lot of top seeds have gone. That leaves John Stewart as the top seed, racing number 5, and Stewart is my pick for the title, not least because he has the experience some others lack. However, Thomas Arm, racing number 7, came back to karting several seasons ago after a layoff and has steadily improved to the point where he will certainly provide Stewart with an uncomfortable time at the pointy end of the grid. Another name who returned after some time away is Danny Crottenden. Racing the 47 kart, Crottenden certainly has the pedigree to put the young drivers in their place. And I would not rule out Danny to be the second Crottenden with his name on the Super 1 Champions Roll of Honour. After a 5-year layoff and a successful comeback in the Kartmasters Grand Prix last year, Joseph O'Reilly is back for another crack at the Super 1 title he won as a junior in 2008. He's driving for Strawberry Racing. Expect him to go very close indeed. The 26 kart is driven by Alana Taylor, who is the only girl racing in Rotax Max this season. Can she provide a challenge to the boys? I spoke to her earlier today. Alana, you're one of only 2 girls in Super 1 this season in the Rotax and Honda series. You and Lucy Fulton, the other driver, Lucy in the junior class. You're in the seniors. What are you hoping for from yourself this year?
Just hoping to get a good result, maybe top 10, because last year I did junior max and it was quite hard and I had a lot of bad luck, but the pace was there. And obviously I'm too old for juniors now, so we've moved up to seniors and it's a lot harder, but I'm just hoping to get a good result and finish each round, and hopefully I'm aiming for the top 10, and if I get higher than that, I'm happy with it.
Okay, how long have you been karting for?
This is my 4th year.
Okay, so you started, you're what age now?
I'm 17 now, so I started when I was 13.
Yeah, that's quite old, isn't it? What brought you into karting in the first place then?
Well, my brother, he did indoor karting for his birthday, and I went and I enjoyed it, so I just thought I'd get into it. And my mum had a client that she works with, and he does the karting, and she asked him about it, and he obviously got me a test run, and I just went on from there, and I've enjoyed it so much. So
okay, well, good luck for this year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, if like Alana, you've had a go at corporate karting but want to try something more competitive, check out the Association of British Kart Clubs website at abkc.org.uk. It lists every single circuit and every club in the country, and there will be one near you. Let's have a look at where we are this season. We start at Rowrah, then we're down to Buckmore Park for round 2. Round 3's at Lark Hall in Scotland. Round 4 at Glannygorse Park in North Wales. We're down to Shennington on the Oxfordshire-Warwickshire border for round 5, and then it all finishes off at PF International in Lincolnshire. Let's have a quick look at the circuit here at the Lakeland Stadium. We go through the start-finish line down to the chicane. One of the reasons we have standing starts this weekend, it's just 50 or 60 metres or so beyond the start line. We go down to the McRae's hairpin, back up to the Iredale's hairpin, both great overtaking opportunities. An overtaking opportunity down into the Stuart S's. We come up into the right-hander here at St John's. The left-hander is Sunny Bend, and that brings you through Paddock Bend to complete the lap across the start-finish line. We're back right after the break for the first race of the day. Don't go away.